So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, entitled The Dynasty of Amshuman. Hare Krishna. The Dynasty of Amshuman, texts 40, 41 and 42. So, since text 42 has a purport, we'll sing together the 42nd verse. Text 40. From Ashmaka, Balika took birth. Because Balika was surrounded by women and was therefore saved from the anger of Parashurama, he was known as Narikavacha, one who is protected by women. When Parashuram vanquished all the Kshatriyas, Balika became the progenitor of more Kshatriyas. Therefore, he was known as Mulaka, the root of the Kshatriya dynasty. Text 41. From Balika came a son named Dasharatha. From Dasharatha came a son named Aidavidi. From Aidavidi came King Vishvasaha. The son of King Vishvasaha was the famous Maharaj Katvanga. And now 42. Yudevar artito daityan avadid yudi durjayah muhurtam ayur gyatvaitya svapuram sandade manah yah King Katvanga who Devaihi by the demigods Artitaha being requested Daityan the demons Avadhit killed Yudhi in a fight Durjayaha very fierce Muhurtam for a second only Ayuhu duration of life Gyatva knowing Itya approached Sva Puram his own abode Sandade fixed Manaha the mind. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. King Katvanga was unconquerable in any fight. Requested by the demigods to join them in fighting the demons, he won victory, and the demigods, being very pleased, wanted to give him a benediction. The king inquired from them about the duration of his life and was informed that he had only 1 moment more. Thus he immediately left his palace and went to his own residence, where he engaged his mind fully on the lotus feet of the Lord. Purport. The example of Maharaj Katvanga in performing devotional service is brilliant. Maharaj Katvanga engaged himself for only a moment in devotional service to the Lord, but he was promoted back to Godhead. Therefore, if one practices devotional service from the beginning of his life, surely he will return home back to Godhead, without a doubt, ashamshaya. In Bhagavad Gita, the word samshaya is used to describe the devotee. There the Lord himself gives this instruction. Maya sakta manah parta yogam yunjan madashayah Asam, Shayam, Samagramam, Yata, Gyasasi, Tachinu. Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Bhagavad Gita 7.1. The Lord also instructs, Janma karma chive divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naitimam eti sorjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Therefore, from the very beginning of one's life, one should practice bhakti-yoga, which increases one's attachment for Krishna. If one daily sees the deity in the temple, makes offerings by worshipping the deity, chants the holy name of the personality of Godhead, and preaches about the glorious activities of the Lord as much as possible, he thus becomes attached to Krishna. This attachment is called asakti. When one's mind is attached to Krishna, maya sakta manaha, one can fulfill the mission of life in one human birth. If one misses this opportunity, one does not know where he is going, how long he will remain in the cycle of birth and death, and when he will again achieve the human form of life and the chance to return home back to Godhead. The most intelligent person, therefore, uses every moment of his life to render loving service to the Lord. The translation of the verse again. King Katvanga was unconquerable in any fight. Requested by the demigods to join them in fighting the demons, he won victory, and the demigods, being very pleased, wanted to give him a benediction. The king inquired from them about the duration of his life, and was informed that he had only 1 moment more. Thus he immediately left his palace and went to his own residence, where he engaged his mind fully on the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So today we continue our discussion on the 9th chapter of 9th canto, and here we have very interesting part of it. We have read 3 verses, 40, 41 and 42, and although the topic is different from verse to verse, still all 3 verses are very interesting actually. First, here in the verse 40, it's mentioned that Balika was surrounded by women, and therefore he was saved from the anger of Parashuram, and therefore he was known as Narikavacha, one who was protected by women. We know that Parashuram had killed Vaishnavas for 21 times. He wiped them out from the surface of earth. And then Balika became the progenitor of more Kshatriyas. Otherwise no Kshatriya would be left. And it's significant that he was protected by women. So Kshatriyas, they don't kill women. So also Parashuram didn't kill women who were protecting Maharaj Balika. So it's significant because if one is not strong enough to fight in this world, he should be protected by women. Therefore, he should marry. This is actually protection for a man in this world, a good wife. Therefore, women, of course, should be trained to be very good, to be good protectors of their husbands. Otherwise, if they're not trained, they help the husband to be lost. Yes. And they are not the protectors, but destroyers of the husband. So, therefore, it's so important to properly raise our children if we are devotees. To raise proper attitude in girls and in boys, that they know what is their duty according to social role. We mentioned that every one of us has certain social role, and although we shouldn't identify with different social positions and different bodily designations, but we should know that we are put in some position by Krishna's will, and therefore it's proper to fully engage in our service according to the position that we have obtained by Krishna's desire. And everyone has certain position. We cannot be without position. Even sannyasi, who is considered socially dead, has certain position. Yes. So, therefore, it's so important to understand what are the duties of our position. Yes. So yes, as long as we are in Grihastha ashram, and king usually definitely is Grihastha, what else can he be? One should seek protection from one's wife. Jai Shri Shri Gurunita, Shri Shri Radha Parizishwar ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai. Yes, so one should seek protection from wife, and one should accept for a wife the devotee, who is a proper devotee. Hare Krishna. Some special pastime of the deities. Okay. So, and in the line of King Balika came also famous Maharaj Katvanga. And now we discuss Maharaj Katvanga. Maharaj Katvanga was unconquerable in any fight. He is here mentioned. And he also destroyed all demons. But he didn't destroy only the demons outside. He was able to won the fight also in his heart. Because here it is mentioned, he was wondering what is his destination, what is his duration of life, and was informed that he had only 1 moment more. And as is mentioned in the beginning of the verse, he was unconquerable in any fight, so he also properly dealt with this enemy of being separate from the Lord for any moment. So he went to his own residence. He immediately left his palace. He gave everything on the spot and just surrendered to Krishna fully. So this was his duty at that time. And we should take good instruction from his example. Actually, every moment, as Prabhupada was also mentioning in his purport, is we can take it as one's last moment. Who knows? Is it last or not? Maharaj Katvanga was very fortunate to know, yes, this moment is my last moment. But usually people don't know when their moment is their last. Yes. I was now in Czech Republic, and I mentioned two examples from devotees' life in Slovenia, from the country which I am coming from. Two devotees who are not so old, in their 40s, just dropped dead, just like that. One went on a walk with his 2-year-old child or something, or 3 years old, I don't know, very small. And suddenly he just dropped dead, just like this, from the blue, as we can say. Yes. Can you imagine the shock for a child? And the other devotee, he played ping pong. You know what's ping pong? With the devotees. And also, just like that, drop dead. Yes. Who knows when it's our time? Maharaj Katwanga was fortunate enough to know, but usually people are not so fortunate. So, if one is sane, if one has some brain substance, he should fully engage in Krishna consciousness at every moment. At every moment, yes. We are usually distracted very easily by so many things. We live in the world of distraction. Yes. And there are so many distractions. Who can count them? Just the noise from the street is a distraction, isn't it? And here I saw that the airplanes are going very low and they're very loud. So this is distraction, isn't it? It is mentioned that Goswamis from Vrindavan, and at that time Vrindavan was, comparing to now, extremely peaceful place. But still, they went to meditate deep in the caves, not to be disturbed by the vibration of Gramya Katha, of village talk. Yes. So, what to speak of our position, where we can move, because everything emanates some vibration. Yes. And this vibration is not Vraja Gramya Katha, but some heavy materialistic consciousness is vibrating from every nook and corner, we can say, in this world. We carry around these gadgets that vibrate some material consciousness. Yes. So it's very difficult. Yes, we are fortunate enough to have this mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the highest mercy possible. We are fortunate that we were brought to this movement, so we should take advantage of it. We should not take it cheaply. People take their proper interest very cheaply, and they take something very cheap very seriously. This is craziness. This is a sign of that one is crazy, doesn't know what is good for him and what is not. Yes. And here Prabhupada is mentioning Maya sakta manah parta yogam yunjan madashaya asamshayam samagramam yata gyasasi tatshrinu. Please hear. Yata gyasasi tatshrinu. Shrinu means please hear. Hear my message. So we should hear Lord Krishna's message and become attached to Krishna. This is the purpose of life, to become attached to Krishna. Actually, we are all attached to Krishna, helplessly. Everyone, even the most ardent atheists, are attached to Krishna only, because there is nothing but Krishna. Yes. Krishna is Advaya Gyan. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajgyanam advayam pramiti paramatmiti bhagavan iti shabdati. It's one absolute truth. There are not two. Nothing is separate from the Lord. Only by false perception we see something as separate from the Lord. Therefore, this is called pritak bhava, or separatistic vision, or consciousness and existence. Bhava means consciousness, existence, emotion. So, when we separate our consciousness from the Lord, we live in an illusion, and we take something as separate from the Lord. Actually, everything is the Lord. And therefore, everyone is helplessly attached to the Lord, knowingly or unknowingly. But we should become knowingly attached to the Lord. Otherwise, as Krishna himself explains, he says, Yepyanya devata bhaktaya janti shraddhayanvita tipimam eva kanta ajantya viti purvakam. Although everyone is worshipping me, if they don't worship me purposefully, me as absolute truth, as Krishna, they worship me in the wrong way. Yes. Avidhi purvakam. Vidhi means the injunction of Shastra, and avidhi means against the injunction of Shastra. And then, therefore, their destination is not Krishna. Yes. It's not absolute Krishna. It's just insignificant particle of Krishna. Yes. Yanti deva vrata devam pitrin yanti pitrivita bhutani yanti bhutijya yanti madhya janopimam. So everyone goes to their destination according to their desires. So it's very important what kind of desires we have in life. If we have any other desires than serving Krishna, it's actually against our interest. Yes. So we should inspect our heart. How many desires are there? And as long as we are sadhakas, there will be desires other than serving Krishna. Otherwise we would be perfect, isn't it? Yes. But these desires shouldn't have, we shouldn't welcome them. We should recognize them and pray to Krishna, please help me to remove this desire. But people usually pray, please Krishna, fulfill this desire. Instead of praying, please Krishna, remove this desire from my heart. Yes. So we should know what to pray. Because anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadinavritam anukulina krishna anushanam bhakti uttama. Only by uttama bhakti we can achieve prema bhakti. Yes, but by pure devotional service. So we should practice pure devotional service. Although we may not be on the level of pure devotional service, but if we don't practice it, we will never achieve it. How you can achieve something that you don't practice? It's not possible. Yes. So it's of utmost necessity that we practice pure devotional service. So therefore, immediately when we recognize that there is some materialistic desire in my heart, I should pray, Krishna, please remove it. I'm helplessly bound by my conditionings. Only you can help me. Who can help me except you? Please, Krishna, help me. And Krishna explains himself. We mentioned this verse from 7th chapter. Devi Kesha Ganvami Mama Maya Duratya Mameva Ye Prapadante Mayametantarantite. No one can cross beyond Maya on their own. It's Duratya. It's extremely powerful. And as long as we don't transcend it, we identify somehow or other with this body and this situation in which we are living. So, therefore, how can we transcend Maya by Maya itself? It's not possible. We have as our tools our mind, our intelligence, our senses, but this is all composed of Maya. So, by Maya itself, we cannot conquer Maya. Therefore, the only solution is to surrender to Krishna. Mam eva ye prapadyanti. Only if you surrender to me, you can cross beyond it. And Krishna will establish himself in the pure heart. Yes. Krishna is not attracted by something material. And in the Bible it is said that the God is jealous God. Have you heard about this? No? Yes. Someone, yes, majority no. Yes. But we also have this idea, but we don't put it in such a way. Because jealousy we take as something as bad quality, isn't it? But what does it mean? Krishna doesn't want to have a relationship with someone who's polluted. Yes. So you can have your own lovers if you want. I'm not attracted to you. Yes. So as long as we seek other lovers than Krishna, we'll get the opportunity to have loving exchanges with them. But Krishna is not attracted then. Krishna doesn't want to be one of the lovers. Krishna wants to be exclusive lover. Yes. Yes. Therefore, what to do? We should exclusively devote to Krishna. Yes. No other way. We cannot cheat Krishna. Krishna sees in the depths of our heart. And also Jesus said, where there will be your treasure, there will be your heart. So, if our treasure is not Krishna, our heart will not be Krishna. Yes. Therefore, this is so important to first to understand by the mercy of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Yes, this is my interest. I should get rid of my desires. I should get attached to Krishna only. Yes. First is understanding, and this understanding is called faith. Yes, Adau Shraddha. And everyone has certain faith. Yes. Krishna is mentioning this in 17th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, that every living entity is endowed with faith. Sattvan rupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. Shraddha moyoyam purusho yoyat shraddhaksevasa. So everyone has certain faith. And Krishna in 7th chapter explains, Yo yam 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 tanum bhakta shraddhayarchutamichrati tasya tasya tralam shraddham tameva vidadameham. I give faith according to your desires. Yes. Yo yam yam shranum bhakta shraddhayarchutam ichati. Whatever desire you have, whatever desire to believe in, Krishna will give you this faith and make it stronger. Why? One would wonder, why would Krishna make some stupid faith strong? Because if we don't have strong faith, we are completely lost. Yes. Then we don't know what to do and what not to do. And Krishna says, for the doubting soul there is no happiness, either in this world or in the next. Yes. Yes. Agyascha shadadanascha samshayatma vinashati. Naim lokusti naparo na sukham samshayatmana. For ignorant and faithless soul, the doubt will destroy him. Yes, the doubt will destroy him. And there is no happiness either in this or the next world. He explains Krishna in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Yes, so he makes, usually, because Krishna is merciful, makes faith very strong. Even if we believe in some crazy ideas, even if we are atheists, our faith in atheism is very strong, because Krishna makes it strong. Yes, therefore, when we hear Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we should understand by logic, not by blind faith. Prabhupada stressed this very much, that we should properly understand, logically understand, and we should be trained to logically establish Krishna consciousness. Yes, because modern world doesn't take Shastra very seriously. They don't consider Shastra as proper pramana, but they worship logic. So if we prove them by logic that Krishna is absolute truth, that one should surrender to Krishna, then they will accept. I remember from my own experience, I'm coming from scientific family, and I was a little disturbed when I was reading Prabhupada's books and he demolished the scientists. But I was convinced by his logic. I was also a Christian before, and by Prabhupada's philosophy, by his teachings, I could understand Jesus' teachings more than before. And I accepted the logic of Krishna consciousness, and therefore I took it very seriously. So we all should take this Krishna consciousness philosophy very seriously and take to it with all our heart. Yes, Prahlad Maharaj also taught his schoolmates, Kumara charit pragyo dharman bhagavataniha durlabhak manushan janma tadapya dhruvam arthadam. That one should take to Krishna consciousness immediately, from the very beginning of life. Majority of us, of course, we were not so fortunate that we would be given Krishna consciousness from the beginning of our life, at least in this form. I was fortunate enough to have a grandmother who was very devotional, actually, deep in spiritual consciousness. She prayed every day, rosemary. You know what is rosemary? It's some kind of Christian japa. I spent a lot of my vacations at her place. She was living in some mountains in Slovenia. Very small farm, 1 cow. And we were working outside in the fields and so on. And when it rang noon in the church, we stopped and we prayed 1 part of rosemary. yes, of this Christian japa. And then in the evenings, first we usually went to church for a mass, and then she was listening to Radio Vatican. We were Catholics, and she was listening to Radio Vatican, but not just usual program. She was listening to this chanting of Rosemary, and she was praying along with them, Rosemary in Slovene. They were chanting in Latin, and she was praying in Slovene. And I was a small boy, I was playing with firewood and so on. But she was listening this so much that by this day I know this Ave Maria in Latin till this day, by heart. Yes. Although I have never learned Latin language. Yes. So, yes, I got this impression from my grandmother, and I discussed God with her. She was very deep in this understanding, and I enjoyed these conversations with her. I couldn't discuss this with my mother, and even less with my father. But I'm grateful to my grandmother that she make very strong impression of God consciousness in my life. So yes, one should practice Krishna consciousness from the very beginning of life. Kaumara acharit pragyo dharman bhagavataniha durlabhak manusha janma. This human life is so rare. We don't even realize how rare it is. How many of us are here? 3, 6, 9, 11. 11. But there are unlimited living entities here in this room. We may think that we are alone. But no, just for a human being to be alive, he has to have 2 kgs of bacteria in his gut. Otherwise we would die. So how many billions of living entities are only in one human's body? Unlimited, actually. Only in the gut there are billions and billions and billions of living entities. Yes. And what to speak in the air? The air is full of living entities, even if you don't see them. Yes. And on the floor and everywhere. Everywhere. Full of living entities. And we see outside. So many living entities. Trees and grass. And if we would look deeply in the grass, we would see so many ants are crawling there and other creatures. Yes. So unlimited living entities everywhere, but only 11 people. Yes. So it's so rare. Durlabham manushan janma. Tadapi adruvam artatam. And although it's adruvam, it will fall dead sooner or later. It's artadam. It can give us the ultimate benefit. Give us ultimate benefit. This is the magic of human life. It's Krishna's mercy, actually, human life, that we can understand Krishna. This is the most important thing. And it's not just pleasure in human life. This is also mercy. Because if we share pleasure, we wouldn't do much to develop our Krishna consciousness. Yes. Therefore, this mixture of misery, of pain, and enjoyment to a certain degree is the best for our development of Krishna consciousness. Yes. So we should take advantage of this. Hare Krishna. And know Krishna, because when we know Krishna, we can attain Him. Yes, without doubt. Without doubt. when we devote our life to Him, of course. Because if we think when we know Krishna, and we don't devote our life completely to Krishna, this is a sign that we don't know Krishna. When we devote our life completely, then there is a chance to know Krishna. But until and unless we devote our life completely to Krishna, it's no hope. So, please, I invite you, I invite myself also, to devote ourselves completely to Krishna and to have no other lovers in our heart. Yes. That Krishna is our only beloved, only lover, that we hanker only after Krishna and no one else and nothing else. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
I have two questions. One is connected with the protection of women.
Yes.
And you could say also in general with family. We can see in our education that sometimes the parents are overprotective. So in the same way the wife can also be in such situation. And so what does it mean the wife is protecting the husband? In which areas? And what is the limit after which it becomes overprotective and unfavorable, let's say, unfavorable for the husband?
Oh, that she's overly protective. Yes. So there are two questions in this one.
It's one question.
One question about the protection of women. Yes. As Prabhupada explains and Shastras explain, that women should be always protected. And there shouldn't be any time that women are not protected. Because they're weak by nature. They're weak emotionally, they're weak physically. In every regard, they're weak. Yes. Therefore, they should be under father's protection in their childhood. And then they should be under protection of their husband. And then they should be protected by the grown-up sons. So they should always be protected. And they are very peaceful and happy if they are properly protected. Yes. If they're not, they feel very insecure and disturbed. And there is lacking something in their life very much. Even in modern world, they teach women to be independent. But I don't know any independent woman to be happy. Although we can know many women in this life. But women, if they're not protected, even if they are married, sometimes they're not protected properly. They're not happy. They feel insecure. Or if they have weak husband, or if they think that they are more powerful than their husband, they feel insecure and not happy. Of course, this is craziness of modern society to teach people that everyone is equal. This is craziness, because no one is equal. Not two people are equal. How to speak that everyone is equal? Yes. Young are naturally subordinate to old. Yes. And children are naturally subordinate to their parents, or they should be. Yes. Younger brother or younger children are subordinate to older children. This is natural. And so wife is also subordinate to the husband, or should be. And if we follow this Krishna system, then everyone is peaceful, everyone is happy. Otherwise, there is sheer struggle for survival. I fight against everyone to create my living space, to create the space for my enjoyment. I fight with my husband, I fight with my children, I fight with my boss, I fight with my colleagues, I fight with my brothers, I fight with my sisters, I fight with everyone. Yes. Because I have to create my space. Otherwise, everyone is just exploiting me. And if there is no Krishna conscious relationship, everyone is exploiting each other. It's a society of mutual exploitation. Every relationship in this material world, if it's not based on Krishna consciousness, is based on mutual exploitation. And therefore everyone is suffering. And no one is satisfied in this life. Therefore, proper protection of women is based on Krishna consciousness. There is no question of protection of women without Krishna consciousness. So husband and wife also. Wife should understand that it's in my interest to be protected. If she doesn't realize this, then she will not be happy being protected. She will be against the protection. She would want to be her own protector. She would want to fight with everyone for her space of enjoyment. And this is the unfortunate situation in modern world, that everyone is fighting for the space for enjoyment with everyone else. So proper protection means first to be deeply Krishna conscious ourselves, and to give Krishna consciousness to our dependents that we should protect. So the duty of the husband is to establish Krishna conscious environment at home. This is the foremost duty of a husband and of a father. There's no highest duty than this, or higher duty than this. This is our highest duty as fathers and husbands. And also, any position that we have, this is our highest duty. There is no duty more important than this. Even if we don't have food every day, no problem. Even if we don't have roof over our head, no problem. Our body will die sooner or later. But we should have Krishna consciousness. Yes. If we don't have Krishna consciousness, there is no protection, no question of protection. What kind of protection? Dihya patya kalitaradishu atmatsanyesha satsvapi. Tisham pramato nidanam parshanapi napashyati. It is mentioned in second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that this so-called family protection is useless because everyone will die. So these are fallible soldiers that we employ in our protection. They cannot protect us. No way. So protection doesn't mean only physical protection. Of course, it implies physical protection also. But if there is no Krishna conscious protection, there is no question of any kind of protection. Yes, because then we protect the dress, we don't protect the person. What's the use of protecting the dress and the person is abused? It's craziness. So we should protect the person, and this is the soul. The soul is a person. We should give Krishna consciousness to our family members. This is the right protection. Yes, by any means. That means first how we can give Krishna consciousness. That means how we can protect, not by our words. This Saint Francis of Assisi. Have you heard about Saint Francis of Assisi? Most famous Christian saint. Yes. He said, one should preach constantly, but only if there is a dire need, one can say something. Only if there is really a need.
A need. Okay.
Yes, one can say something.
Okay.
Yes. So our preaching Krishna consciousness is by our example most important. So we should be Krishna conscious ourselves. Then we can protect. If we are not Krishna conscious ourselves, there is no question of protection. No question. Yes. And then we should teach our dependents also tattva. This is very important. To give them proper philosophy, proper philosophical understanding. And also they should feel our concern, our heart. So not just that there is tattva, dry, cold-hearted philosophy, but we should also have soft heart. We should be most strict to ourselves, less strict to our children, and least strict to our wife. Yes. But we should be strong enough to protect her from outside craziness. So we should be strong in every aspect. We should be strong philosophically, we should be strong mentally, we should be strong emotionally, and we should be strong physically. If we lack strength on any of these levels, there is a chance of disrespecting us. And if a wife disrespects her husband, there is no question of protection. Yes. Yes. We should be strong. Hare Krishna. Yes.
I have two questions. One, you mentioned that they pray on rosemary.
Yes.
What they pray?
They pray to Mary, Jesus' mother. First, they glorify Saint Mary. I have to remember the prayer that I can tell you. And then they pray. Maria, milosti polna Gospod je s Tebojim, blagoslovljena si med ženami in blagoslovljen je sad tvojega telesa, Jezus. Sveta Marija, Mati Božja, prosi za nas grešnike. Please pray for us, the sinners, now and at our final hour. Yes. First they glorified her, and then they prayed to her that they would pray for us sinners. And now at our last hour, and there's a 10 of these prayers, and then they pray, our Lord who art in heaven. Yes, to God the Father. They prayed this Lord's Prayer that were taught by Lord Jesus. And then again these 10 of this prayer to Saint Mary. Yes. And again and again and again.
Same prayer.
Same prayer, yes. 10 of this, 1 of that. And again, 5 times of these 10 Saint Marys, and 5 times of this Lord's Prayer. And then this is one part of the Rosemary. This Rosemary is actually meditation on different parts of Jesus' life. There is a sad part when Jesus was crucified, and then there is a happy part when Jesus resurrected from death. Yes, and there are also other parts, but I forgot. Is there any mentioning? What parts of Rosemary are there?
What part? I found the full translation. But
Of the prayer?
yeah.
No, there are different parts of Rosemary. So this is meditation about the life of Jesus and taking shelter of his mother, who is a pure devotee. And that's it actually. That's the gist of the Rosemary. Okay?
One more question. You
Yes.
mentioned that some take shelter of Krishna knowingly and some take shelter of Krishna unknowingly.
Yes, you wonder how one can take shelter unknowingly.
Yes. Like, is it okay or not?
Everyone has some shelter. We cannot be without shelter. Our body is our shelter, for example. And it comes from Krishna. And it's Krishna's energy. So, and it's not different from Krishna. It's his energy. Yes. Therefore, we should take shelter knowingly. We are taking shelter unknowingly from time immemorial. Therefore, we should break this unknowingly taking shelter, and we should take it knowingly. Therefore, it's so important to be conscious of Krishna. It's not enough that our mouth is repeating some prayer, like chanting Hare Krishna, for example. And our consciousness is somewhere else, taking shelter of something else. Because if our consciousness during our chanting, for example, is not taking shelter of lotus feet, then our consciousness will take shelter of something else. Our consciousness cannot be without shelter, because we are Tatashta Shakti. Tatashta Shakti means dependent energy, always dependent on something. Either we are dependent on Krishna's external energy, or we are dependent on Krishna's internal energy. Yes. And Krishna explains this in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Either we are taking shelter of Prakriti Mohini, Mogasha Moga Karma no Moga Jnana Vichetas, Rakshasim Asurim Chiva, Prakriti Mohinim Shita, Mahatmanastumam Parta Devim Prakriti Mashita, Bhajanya Nane Manaso, Gyatva Bhutadimavayam. So, one kind of people take shelter of Prakriti Mohinim, and others who are Mahatmas, Mahatmanam Tumakmarta, Devim Prakriti Mashita. They take shelter of Devi Prakriti, of Krishna's internal energy, of Srimati Radharani, ultimately. So, if our consciousness during our chanting is not taking shelter of Krishna, it will take shelter of Prakriti Mohinim. So, it's not enough that our mouth is performing some activity. Our heart should be engaged. Therefore, Prabhupada established Krishna consciousness movement. Yes. So, And although we take shelter of Prakriti Mohinim, it's only Krishna's energy. So that is also taking shelter of Krishna, but in the wrong way. And Krishna also explains in the 9th chapter, we quoted before, that we shouldn't take shelter of Krishna in the wrong way. Avidi purvakam. We should take shelter vidhi purvakam, properly. Hare Krishna.
On the same topic, I had the second question
Yes.
connected with the faith. You mentioned why Krishna reinforces our stupid faith.
Yes.
Gives strength in our faith. And you explained that it's because without strong faith we cannot move.
Yes.
We are lost. But still, if our faith is in stupid things,
Yes.
then we are also lost anyway. So why Krishna?
Yes. Then at least we believe that something will give us happiness. If we don't have faith in anything, we'll just destroy it.
We can't act then.
Yes, and you can't act, exactly. Because you have to have faith to do anything. Yes. And when you act improperly because of wrong faith, you get the opposite reaction you would want to achieve. You are punished by the laws of material nature. You have faith that fire is something brilliant, and you put your hand into the fire because you have faith that is something enjoyable. For example, it's a stupid example, but still. You put a hand, and Prabhupada uses this example also. You put your hand into the fire and you get burned. So next time you won't do that again because you lost the faith that fire is something enjoyable. But still you have other types of faith, and therefore you can act. And you act by experience. The experience is the best teacher, is it said. And the other part of this proverb is, only fools don't learn any other way. So we should learn by hearing from proper sources and develop faith from proper sources. Not wait till the time we will be burned again and again and again. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. Hari Bol.